People criticize Ronaldo when he scores against weak teams, but praise Messi as a legend for doing the same thing. That's hypocrisy. This statement from the professor is not just a casual comment. It is a wake-up call about a reality. The media is contributing to an injustice in the way it perceives the two legends of modern football. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, two icons, two styles, two great journeys. They respect each other, and they have never regarded one another as hostile rivals. But public opinion and the media think differently. For the same action, Messi is celebrated as a genius when he scores against weaker teams, while Ronaldo is labeled a small game player. It's not that they are that different, but rather that the media has chosen a biased narrative. Today, Blazefield will help you uncover that dark side, from Ballon d'Or voting, commercial deals, to the prejudiced lens that public perception has unintentionally shaped. The Ballon d'Or, the golden ball, should have been the fairest measure of excellence in football. Yet, over the years, it has become a living testament to the subtle bias shaped in part by the media, especially when it comes to Cristiano Ronaldo. Take the year 2018 as a prime example, one of Ronaldo's most outstanding seasons. He was the top scorer in the Champions League with 15 goals and led Real Madrid to their third consecutive European title. Luka Modric, his teammate at Real Madrid, also had an excellent season and won all the same club trophies as Ronaldo. However, when Modric was honored, the deciding factor lay in the World Cup. Modric led Croatia, a small footballing nation, to the 2018 World Cup final. It was a miracle, a modern fairy tale, and the media told the story with such emotional fervor that it overshadowed everything Ronaldo had achieved. This raises the question, if Messi had done what Ronaldo did that year, would anyone have stopped him from standing on the podium of glory? Most likely not. And that is precisely the issue. The media had implicitly placed Ronaldo in a position where he had to do more than others to gain recognition. Going further, in 2021, Lionel Messi won the Ballon d'Or after winning the Copa America with Argentina, an admirable team achievement. But in terms of individual performance, Ronaldo had more goals that season for both club and country, and also set several global scoring records. Still, the media crafted a touching narrative around Messi. After so many years of waiting, he finally won a major title with the national team. And that emotion, not his achievements, decided the result of the vote. The media does not merely reflect the truth, it sometimes constructs it. When they choose to portray Messi as a humble, relatable genius, and Ronaldo as a charismatic, outspoken star, they inadvertently influence the voting mindset of hundreds of sports journalists worldwide. What is the outcome? Ronaldo, despite having comparable individual and team accomplishments, always has to go against the wind. He isn't allowed to be just great, but must be greater than expected. He must not only win, but win in a way that pleases the public. The Ballon d'Or itself is not at fault. The problem lies in how we perceive the criteria for recognition. When personal emotion and media bias overshadow fairness, football, even with its dazzling superstars, strays from the path of objectivity. Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the most valuable sports brands in the world. He is a global icon, an unstoppable marketing machine with over 500 million social media followers. However, behind that dazzling aura lies a bitter paradox. His image has been distorted by the very biases that the media either unconsciously or deliberately has created. Messi is often portrayed as the humble boy from Rosario, someone who loves football in its purest form and is tied to Barcelona by destiny. This has made him the face of many brands with humane, relatable messages like Pepsi, Adidas, and Gatorade. Meanwhile, Ronaldo is usually associated with brands that have a strong, bold image, such as Nike, CR7, or Clearman. Brands that convey charisma, confidence, and extroversion. That media-constructed portrait has inadvertently caused Ronaldo to be seen as a distant player in the eyes of a portion of the public. Even though in reality, he is charitable, has helped earthquake victims, paid hospital fees for children, and always expresses gratitude to his fans. Few people know that Ronaldo was once named the most charitable athlete in the world in 2015, surpassing major sports figures like Serena Williams and LeBron James. His actions are no less admirable. Ronaldo has donated millions of dollars to UNICEF, supported hospitals, and even auctioned off his Ballon d'Or to raise money for charity. Yet, these deeds are not told with emotional tone or are even entirely overlooked by the media. In fact, in international advertising campaigns, many major brands are hesitant to choose Ronaldo as the lead figure, fearing that he carries a too individualistic, too strong, or controversial image. Meanwhile, Messi, with the image of being humble and family-oriented, is favored in global campaigns with humanitarian messages. Clearly, talent and accolades alone are not enough to build a solid commercial image if the media has already branded you with a lifestyle and personality that is not widely favored. Ronaldo does not change himself to please anyone, and it is precisely that which causes him to sacrifice many partnership opportunities, simply because he does not fit the narrative that the media wants. The injustice here does not lie in the choices made by brands, but in the initial bias that the media plants in the public's mind. When one is portrayed as a quiet genius, and the other as a superstar hungry for glory, the narrative already shapes perception, and from there, creates a disparity in commercial value. Cristiano Ronaldo is the embodiment of extraordinary effort. Without innate talent like Messi's, he rose through desire, willpower, and iron discipline. But that very journey, which should have been the greatest inspiration, has often been distorted into the image of an arrogant man. Ronaldo has never hesitated to say he wants to be the best, to break all limits, to make history. But those confident statements are often labeled by the media as conceited or showy. Meanwhile, Messi, who speaks little and is reserved, is celebrated as a humble genius. The problem doesn't lie with them, but in how the media chooses to tell the story. Ronaldo once said, "I don't need praise to know I'm good, because I've worked hard every day to achieve that." That's not arrogance, but the courage of someone who doesn't ask for recognition, but earns it through sweat, blood, and tears. However, over time, having to constantly prove himself, constantly rebut unfavorable public opinion, Ronaldo has been forced to wear a cloak of pride as a defense mechanism. He celebrates each goal intensely. He reacts strongly to criticism, because he knows if he doesn't do it, no one else will stand up for him. It is the tragedy of a legend who is not properly loved. Messi is protected by the unconditional affection of the media, while Ronaldo has to fight for every bit of respect amidst the sea of doubt. The media has used phrases like selfish superstar to describe Ronaldo when he shows frustration after a loss, but uses phrases like thirst for victory when Messi does the same thing. Two standards, two attitudes, for the same behavior. And that bias doesn't just create injustice for Ronaldo, but it also causes division within the fan community. Instead of jointly celebrating two great icons, people are drawn into an endless debate, where one side must be brought down so their idol can shine. Deep down, Ronaldo is a very emotional person. He hugs his mother every time he receives an award, always thanks his first mentor, Sir Alex Ferguson, always defends his teammates, and doesn't hesitate to respond to those who insult him or his family. But the media chooses not to mention that. And that is why Ronaldo's image is distorted, not because he changed, but because the way people see him has never been fair. Messi is a legend. So is Ronaldo. But only one of them always has to swim upstream to be loved. When the media is biased, the truth is no longer intact. And Ronaldo, no matter how great a player he is, remains the unwilling arrogant one in the eyes of many. Over the years, the media has unintentionally, or at times intentionally, constructed the image of an intense rivalry between Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. They turned each goal, each trophy, each statement into an image battle to attract attention, stir controversy, and sustain the opposition. But in reality, Ronaldo and Messi have never been enemies. They respect each other and have publicly expressed admiration for one another many times. Together, they elevated elite football for over a decade, and they, not the media, truly understand each other's worth. The audience being led toward a misunderstanding, even attacking one or the other, is not their fault. It is the result of a system of storytelling that lacks honesty. And that not only damages individual reputations, but also diminishes the spiritual value of football.